my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. So today we've got an exciting tease for The Bad Batch Season 2, and we're also going to be talking about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. As always guys, before we dive into it, please be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below, and give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted every time that I post a new video. But without much further ado, and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So as we know, on May the 29th at Star Wars Celebration, we're going to be getting a Bad Batch Season 2 panel. But in the meantime, and while we await an official release date and trailer, one keen-eyed fan has spotted something in the most recent issue of Star Wars Insider. And first of all, in spite of the radio silence and delays, they confirm the Bad Batch Season 2 is still coming this year. And while that in and of itself is super exciting, they do reveal some more information, even teasing we might see Boba Fett in Season 2. We've all been wondering, when is Boba Fett going to meet his sister? Well, it seems like there's a good chance Alpha and Omega are going to meet in the upcoming second season. This is what it said. There are other clones out there, some resisting the Empire and some agreeing with the ways it wields power. The Kamino Nala Se is now at the Imperial lab that is likely going to be the site of some iffy science. And in case you missed it guys, I did a full video explaining her importance on Mount Tantis. And then the article mentions Boba Fett, the clone's genetic brother. He has his own live action series, The Book of Boba Fett, but then they tease maybe their paths will cross and maybe they won't. The masterminds at Star Wars Central are keeping the upcoming season's details secret, but we won't have to wait too long to see what's in store for Clone Force 99, as Season 2 of The Bad Batch is expected later this year. So the Boba Fett mention is particularly eyebrow-raising, and while just speculative, it's interesting they chose to mention him in this article. So the big question is, are we going to see Omega and the Bad Batch run into Boba in the early Imperial timeline? I've always believed that much later on during the Mando era after Return of the Jedi, that she would meet him, and this could be in the Book of Boba Fett Season 2, and while that could still happen, maybe that's not going to be their first meeting, and perhaps they're going to meet earlier on, just after the rise of the Empire. Now, in addition to this, there is a quote from Jennifer Corbett where she discusses the direction that Season 2 is going to take. She begins by discussing the fall of Kamino and says the ramifications of this attack and what the Empire has done and what it means for the Bad Batch and for the clones is something we're going to continue with. So while the Kaino brothers have teased a time jump and we are probably going to get one, they're not done exploring the significance of Tapoka City being destroyed. And with the secretive Imperial lab being set up on Wayland Mount Tantis, the theme of cloning generally is going to continue, and as I say, if you've not watched the previous video on the topic, I highly recommend you do so. So some really interesting teasers. Let me know your thoughts of this in the comments down below. Do you think we could see Boba Fett in the Bad Batch Season 2? And so now my dear friends, a piece of very unfortunate news for Mandalorian fans. Rio Hackford, who was the on-set performer for IG-11 in The Mandalorian Season 1, has passed away at the age of 52. He was a talented actor who was also the stepson of Helen Mirren, and most recently played the role of a manager in Pam and Tommy. Amongst many other roles, he was famous for playing IG-11, who is arguably one of the most badass droids introduced in the Disney Star Wars era. Of course, as we know, Taika Waititi voices the droid, and he is set to return in Season 3. If you think back to a couple of months ago, Making Star Wars had a leak wherein they said, somehow IG-11 has returned. Rebuilt and reinforced with Beskar, it's described that Grogu is going to use IG-11 as a sort of mech. Our favourite little guy is literally going to sit inside the chest of the modified droid, and that's going to be a protective reinforcement for Grogu. It's also stated that IG-11 is going to be controlled by Grogu, however, he acts as Grogu's Jarvis. IG-11 is going to give him data on probabilities of success and protects the child when need be. This leak also stated that Grogu kicks some serious ass in the series once this upgrade is put into play. And Rio is going to be sorely missed, so rest in peace and may the Force be with you. And so finally my dear friends, a bit of news for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, because the character icons for the Mandalorian Season 2 DLC pack have been leaked. Now, speaking of the game more generally first, I've shared a lot of my thoughts and gameplay with you guys, and I must say it might just be one of my favourite Star Wars games, along with Jedi Fallen Order. I do have some complaints, but they're rather nitpicks. For example, the lack of some crucial battles like the battle over Coruscant, and the fact that a lot of scenes are just brief cutscenes rather than you playing them. For example, confronting Palpatine scene with Mace Windu. You cannot fight that duel, and on top of that, he's only with Kit Fisto. Agent Kolar and Saesee Tiin are not with him, and this is true of a lot of characters throughout the saga. It can be a bit patchy and some characters are missing. For example, there's not even Tarkin in A New Hope. But apart from this and the fact that there's no online co-op, this game is phenomenal and truly gets to the heart of what we love about the fun and silly elements of Star Wars. And while I've not gotten to the sequels yet, a lot of players have been saying they put a lot of care and detail into episodes 7 to 9, more so than the other episodes, but all 9 have been highly praised for the comical retelling of the 9 mainline Star Wars films, which in a sense blends the overall plot lines of the multi-generation Skywalker tale, plenty of clever jokes, memes and references to the larger Star Wars universe. And TT Games have already begun expanding the game, notably with a hefty roster of playable characters thanks to the DLC packs that were announced before the game's release. And there are going to be packs of The Mandalorian Seasons 1 and 2, The Bad Batch, Solo, Rogue One, and so on, but thanks to a recent data mine of the upcoming Mandalorian Season 2 character pack, we're able to get a glimpse at the character icons early. As you see, we've got Ahsoka, Moff Gideon, Bo-Katan, Fennec Shand, and of course Boba Fett. And in spite of the fact that we are getting these DLC packs, a lot of fans are hoping TT Games are also going to add some new levels reflective of those packs, for example based on The Mandalorian or Rogue One, just to expand the game a bit more. And look, I'm really nitpicking at the things that are worth criticizing, but regardless of these perceived shortcomings, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has been hailed as one of the best LEGO games to date, and I've complimented this element before, but the world building is truly second to none. I've been having a lot of fun playing the game, and a week ago I shared some gameplay and commentary and a lot of you really enjoyed it. But I do realise there are many folks in this amazing community who do not play the game or are not interested, so I've been doing much more of it over on Patreon. So if you're interested in seeing my gameplay and my commentary of it, then click the link down below. But with that said, my dear friends, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and a huge welcome if you are. But until the next one, my dear Mandalorians, may the Force be with you always. Have an amazing day, no matter where you are in the galaxy. There's Palpy. His evil face. Oh, he's been caught. Put the popcorn away, pretend to be arrested. Let's take down this curved lightsabered prick. Double the fall. Count Dooku sounds like one of those children's book narrators, like Winnie the Pooh.
You're no match for him. He's a Sith Lord.
Chancellor Palpatine, Sith Lords can go f themselves. Look, it's the WhatsApp conversation between Grievous and the droids.
Call for backup.
I love the jokes in this game, it's so hilarious. It keeps you going. Like if there's levels you don't enjoy, you just know you're going to fall back on the comedy.